Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video, but I have a quick announcement before we start. I'm revealing my limited rating, which is 1926 at the moment, among the highest it's been. We're also on quite a run, I believe 5 consecutive trophies, or maybe 4, and 1 lost, and more trophies. Just a really good string of results recently. My goal is to get my limited rating to 1950, and maybe even 2000 at the end of the day. And I just wanted to issue an official challenge for Teamjbro and any other people who are up there on the leaderboard to reveal your limited rating. My theory is that a lot of these people just force aggro every time for quick leagues and just go for volume and have a lower win rate than me, even though they have more trophies. But I could be wrong. So if any of you follow Teamjbro on Twitch or anything else, maybe you could drop a comment asking him to reveal his limited rating, and we could see if his limited rating is the best or if he just plays the most. And this is the leaderboard at the moment, so we're up there, but quite a bit behind Teamjbro. So the question is, does he just play all the time, or does he have a better rating? And who knows? We're also going for, I believe, like I said, I think this is the 5th consecutive trophy. It might be the 6th, but I think it's the 5th. So hopefully we're able to make that happen. I'll see you in the draft. All right, here we are for pack 1, and we have a hell of a start. We got Black Lotus. Arguably the best card in the format. Really, really good for sure. Honestly, this pack is great. Scalding Tarn is a top 30 card, I would say. Definitely up there. I'm also, stay tuned for a new underrated, overrated cards list. I'm going to be doing some stuff, and Fetch Lands will make an appearance there. Entomb is also a first pickable card, so is Channel. But easy Lotus here. And in terms of what we're passing, nothing that gives too strong of a signal other than the Entomb. I guess Channel too. So we should potentially stay away from Reanimator and stay away from Green, but we were already going to stay away from Green. This slots very well into aggro and also into just like decks that have good 4 and 5 mana plays. Turn 1 4 mana Planeswalker, like turn 1 Minsc and Boo would be pretty incredible. Okay, what do we have here? The best thing specifically with Black Lotus is Hero of Bladehold. Playing this on turn 1 is extremely powerful. It swings for 7 on the first attack and 11 on the second attack, so you can hit them for 18 by turn 3 just with this one card if you play it on turn 1. The best card in this pack, honestly this pack is kind of weak. Strix is pretty good. You could take a Signet. And then if we want to lean towards aggro, I love Figure of Destiny because this is a very, very good card in mono red and mono white, and it also does play well with the Lotus. You can make this an 8/8 as early as turn 3 or so if you have the Lotus. I think that's probably the pick here. I'm not going to force aggro necessarily, so if there was a Preordain or a Counterspell or something like that, I would take that here. But given that there's nothing super exciting in controller combo, I think we do just take the Figure. And then if mono red or mono white is open, that's great, and if not, that's fine too. And I also want to note that my trophy run has not been all aggressive decks. I just did a pretty sweet Sultai Reanimator deck. The one before that was mono blue artifacts. Okay. Interesting pack. The best card is Expressive Iteration or Treachery. But those don't work that well with Lotus. Granted, you shouldn't build your entire game plan around Black Lotus. It's just a one-of, but given that we have a strong aggressive start, I would need cards that really play well with the Lotus to want to pull me in another direction. Here, I think there's 2 good options other than the blue cards, and those are Ancient Tomb and Adeline. And that's a close pick. I do like Adeline a lot. Very strong. Turn 1, land, Lotus, Figure of Destiny, Adeline will win most matchups. But I think I'm just going to take Ancient Tomb. This is a really good land. If we're in mono red or mono white, this will really help us to have some busted starts. This plus Lotus. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. A few options here. The Wandering Emperor is pretty good. We could also take Beaumont Courier. Basically, okay, do we think red or white is more open here? Or do we want to dip into other things? We could take like a Tundra, which isn't a bad option. Blue-white tempo. Glen's pretty good, and we are seeing some blue stuff here. I do like the Wandering Emperor a lot. Playing this on turn 1 isn't the best thing off of Lotus, but it is quite strong. Yeah, I think I'll take the Wandering Emperor. We have multiple ways to turbo it out, and it's a really good card. It creates a lot of pressure on its own. It's removal. It can make you win combat out of nowhere. Yeah, we'll take the Wandering Emperor. Okay, here we could take Bone Crusher Giant. That's probably the best card for us. We could take Port. If we think we're going to be mono white, we could take the Port. And white is looking fairly open. There's 3 white cards and a white land here. We could take Silent Clearing. Bone Crusher is really strong, but I don't really want to go into 2 colors. We could also take Silent Clearing and go for black-white, but there's no black spells in this pack. I'm going to take the Port. This is a little risky because if white isn't open, if we need to play 2 colors, then having multiple colorless lands could be a little bit dicey, but none of the white cards here are that good. I think white is looking pretty open, so I think we'll be able to get plenty of playables, in which case Rishid and Port will be really nice. Okay, yeah, feeling good about that pick now that we see a pick 6 Gideon. This is one of the better white cards in the format, so seeing this go this late is a great sign, and this plays really, really well with the Lotus and the Port, and the Tomb. Really just exactly what we're looking for. And there's another okay white card in the pack. Yeah, let's take the Gideon. Alright, nice. This is looking great. We're not a Lurrus deck here. Lurrus Black Lotus is pretty sweet, but I want to be able to play these 4-drops. So the question becomes, do we play Mana Tithe or Esper Sentinel? I think I'll take the Esper Sentinel. It's close, but this is a very, very good threat. And it plays really well with the Wandering Emperor. You can grow it, so they have to pay 2 mana. Close pick. I do love Mana Tithe, but I also love Esper Sentinel. I think I'm going to go with a threat here. Okay, late Giver of Runes. I love Chandra. That's another card that plays well with these, but I would like to be mono white. It looks like red and white are the 2 open colors. But yeah, let's go with the white 1-drop. Sorry, Chandra. Okay, Vryn Wingmare, great pickup. It plays a little bit weirdly with the 2 4-mana Planeswalkers that we have, but I think that's totally fine. Interesting. Godless Shrine or Hero of Bladehold. Do we think we're going to want to splash black? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. And Hero of Bladehold, again, plays really well with the acceleration that we have. It'll be even better if we can pick up like a Mox or Chrome Mox, anything of that nature. So, yeah, I think we just take the hero. Nice, Adeline Wield. This is perfect. Our deck is, like, white is super open. We have the acceleration, some good utility lands. Pretty much perfect. Our curve is a bit high. I would like it if some of these were a bit lower on the curve, but it's fine. Now let's take a Beaumont Courier, which could make the cut. Especially if we get Urza's Saga. Okay, I'll take a Yorion. We could end up being a Yorion deck, actually. If white is super open and we get playable cards in every single pick. Now we'll take Karmic Guide, which plays well with Yorion. What I would kind of love is to have a streamlined main deck that is trying to just maximize the Lotus draws and be really quick. But then if we play against the Mirror Match or something like that, we can sideboard into a Yorion deck that's better at grinding. This is a great start so far. Rolling Earthquake, not a card we'll be playing, but that is okay. So what are we looking for in pack 2? I would like some removal. Swords to Plowshares, Council's Judgment, things of that nature. I would like more fast mana to just make that consistent. And I would like, just to fill out the curve, some more 1-drops potentially, definitely some 2-drops. The single best card we could get would probably be Soul Ring, unsurprisingly. Or actually Mana Crypt would be better for this deck. Mana Crypt plus Ancient Tomb could be a bit painful, but in most matchups that won't matter because we're looking like we'll be able to close out the game pretty quickly. Okay, none of the best cards here, but we have some solid options. The card we want the most is Student of Warfare. We could take Retrofitter Foundry and bank on the Student to wheel because I think the Student of Warfare almost definitely will wheel. But I don't really want Retrofitter Foundry that much in this deck. We could take Ravages of War. Yeah, Student of Warfare is the card we want the most, but I'm 100% sure that this is going to wheel. So I think we're going to take Ravages of War, which won't even be in the main deck, and then wheel the Student. It's kind of a funny situation to be taking a card we don't even want that much, but having access to this sort of effect is really good against Storm specifically, and just, well, I guess combo decks in general. Yeah, let's take this, and then again, there's no way anyone takes Student of Warfare. This is only good in mono white, and no one else is playing mono white. Oh, we got past a Mox. We got past a Mox. That's so good. Elspeth and Blade Splicer are both fine. Kitchen Finks is probably a bit worse, but also fine. We're definitely taking the Mox. I think if all the stuff wheels, we'll probably take Blade Splicer because it's a creature for Vryn Wingmare. And we have a lot of 4s already. But great pickup. This deck is looking very, very strong. Alright, yet another strong pack. This actually could be a Gaia's Cradle deck. But we don't really have good mana sinks. I think it would make mana usually, but we don't have Walking Ballista or anything like that. The other 2 cards that look great here are Thraben Inspector and Umezawa's Jite. And we should probably just take the Jite. There's a chance that Inspector is actually better for this deck. Actually, probably not. Jite is just great. Even better if we get the Stoneforge. Hopefully Thraben Inspector comes around. I think it's pretty likely to. This is a card that has some value in decks other than Mono White. Like Blue-White Control can play this. But we'll take the Jite. Okay, there's the path. That's great. Marsh Flat's probably not necessary if we're mono white. There's Restoration Angel, which is fine. But yeah, let's take the path. Good removal. Much worse than Swords to Plowshares because we don't really want to be ramping our opponent if we're also trying to tax their mana. But just having a 1-mana answer to Sphinx of the Steel Wind and stuff like that is pretty nice. Oh yeah, I mean, this is just great. Mother of Runes, maybe the best 1-drop for this deck. Adonto Vanguard is pretty sweet too, and we're hoping that will wheel. I think it's fairly likely to, although this pack is kind of weak. But definitely taking Mother of Runes here. So Stoneforge Mystic would be a good pickup. Ephemerate. Are we an Ephemerate deck? It's really good with Karmic Guide. It's not really good with anything else that we have. We could find Solitude. There's also just a solid piece of Graveyard Hate. Basically, I don't think we're taking Ephemerate. So it becomes, do we want a good piece of Graveyard Hate or a good piece of hate against blue and green? I think I'm going to take the Sword. It's kind of close. Yeah, let's take the Sword, though. If we get Stoneforge Mystic, this will be really nice. Interesting. There's Parallax Wave and Winds of Abandon, so 2 good things to deal with creatures. Bauble doesn't really help us. Relic is good Graveyard Hate. I think I'm taking Parallax Wave, though. This card is really strong. Yeah, let's take the Wave. It's not a card you want to ramp into on turn 1 with Black Lotus, which does mean it's a bit awkward on the curve, but very, very strong against creature decks. Pretty often this is just a one-sided board sweeper. And yes, it's not permanent. It takes out tokens permanently, but you can also just like take out their creatures and then win in the meantime. Okay, now we have Intrepid Adversary versus Sunbaked Canyon. Intrepid Adversary is a good threat, but I think we're going to have plenty of threats. I'm just going to take Sunbaked Canyon. It adds a little bit of consistency. We can sack this if we're flooded late game. Close pick, though. If we really wanted to be a Yorion deck, we would take the 3-1. But I think I'd rather max... Like, if we didn't have 2 pieces of acceleration, Yorion would look better. But I just want to maximize my hands where we can go, like, you know, potentially even turn 1 Gideon. Alright, Student Wield. Not surprising, but still good. I like that we have both Figure of Destiny and Student of Warfare. That gives us good mana sinks if we're flooded. And it means Black Lotus in the mid or late game can still be fine. Now let's take a Blade Splicer. I think that's better than Kitchen Finks. And they're both better than Elspeth. We have a lot of 4s already. Nice. Thraben Inspector Wield. Again, not surprising, but good. This deck is unbelievably strong. Restoration Angel Wield. May or may not main deck that, but it's a good card to have access to. Nice. Adonto Vanguard Wield, our first 2-mana creature. Ephemerate Wield, probably not main decking that. Last pick, Mind's Desire. Okay. This would be a good deck if the draft ended right now. And we still have an entire pack left. So I don't really want anything that costs 4. I would take Palace Jailer if we found it. But what we really want is more Moxen and 2-drops. Oh my gosh, this pack is so good. We're definitely taking the Mox. Urza Saga would be amazing, though, with Lotus. But now we have 3 pieces of power. A little unfortunate that neither of our Moxen are on color, but you really can't complain. And then 2 good creatures that we're hoping to wheel as well. But yeah, give me that Mox. Can we get past a 3rd Mox? A little greedy, but a little greed never killed anyone. Actually, that's certainly false, but a little greed is not going to kill us. Probably not playing this Beaumont Courier. Okay, this pack is the first kind of brick for us. Actually, it's not a brick. Library of Alexandria is a great pickup. There's no good white spells in this pack, so we're not going to get anything on the wheel, but Library of Alexandria is very good. We're getting to the point where I don't want more colorless lands, but I'm definitely happy to take this one, and then I would take maybe one more. But with 2 Moxen and a Black Lotus, we're going to want to play a low land count, and we want to make sure we have enough white sources. Library, get in here. So let's trim the fat, keep only the cards we're 100% sure we're playing. I can't really imagine ever cutting these cards. Sometimes I don't play Hero of Bladeholds, but in this deck, with all this acceleration, it becomes better. Okay, this is a great deck for Thalia. We'll definitely take that. If Oblivion Ring comes around, I might take that, but don't want to risk the Thalia getting taken. Thalia is the kind of card that you might take even if you're not playing mono white, just as Hate Against Storm. Okay, another good pack. 2 good white 3-drops. Loran is the one I would prefer here, but I think what we're going to do is take Canopy and wheel the Loran. We are going to now have 4 lands that deal damage to us, but I think that's okay. Yeah, let's go with this. Ooh, Spectral Procession. Okay, not bad. It's a little bit weak with Vrinling Mare and Thalia, and we also have some off-color lands that won't do it. So this is not as good in this deck as it is in many decks, but still, very strong card. So we will take it. It would probably come around, but I don't really want Wrath of God. Yeah, there's nothing else here we want, so we'll just make sure we get the card we care about. We get a few more looks at Stoneforge. Okay, we'll take a Steel Seraph. Pretty good pickup here. We're not a Mishra's Workshop deck. Arid Mesa doesn't help us. Yeah, we'll take the Seraph. Plays well with our acceleration as well. So, how many lands are we playing? 14 or 15 probably. Oh my gosh, Palace Jailer. Elspeth would be good too, but get in here, Palace Jailer. That's great. I'm really excited for this. This is maybe the best white deck I've ever drafted. So we want probably, I think we'll play 15 lands, given that we have a decent number of 4 drops. So, and we have some value lands, like we can sack these Canopy lands later. So if we want to play 10 basic plains, that would give us 12 white sources plus Lotus. That seems fine. Then we need 3 more spells. So if the draft ended right now... Oh, okay. Containment Priest or Skull Clamp? Honestly, I don't think this deck wants Skull Clamp. Because I want to have a high creature count. It's kind of close. Clamp is very good sometimes. The only card in our deck, though, that it's amazing with is Spectral Procession. Using Clamp to kill your own Student of Warfare or something is not ideal. I think we take the Containment Priest. Especially since we passed all the Graveyard Hate. Close pick, but yeah, I'll take this. I also just want more 2-drops. Alright, good, interesting pick now. Do we take Cathar Commando, which is good interaction, Recruiter, or the land? I think I'm not going to take the land, even though we have tons of good spells, because it is, I don't want to have too many colorless lands. I think we take the Recruiter. I do love Cathar Commando, but Recruiter can find Palace Jailer, which is just such a good card. Yeah, let's take this. Okay, I don't think we're playing any of these cards. I guess I'll take Dam for the sideboard. No, I'll take the... Well, Elspeth is just so expensive. Yeah, let's take Dam for the sideboard. Okay, Oblivion Ring came around. I think it's probably worth playing that. Oh, Loran came around. That's great. Okay, not playing any of these. Not playing these. Last Big Elspeth, good pickup. I don't think we're going to play it in the main deck because it's too expensive, but it is looking good in this deck. Alright, we need to make one cut. I think I'm going to cut Oblivion Ring. It's okay. I mean, it's good, but it's awkward with Athalia and Wingmare, and I just want to be very threat dense in the main deck. Wow, this deck is looking really strong. So we'll do this with 10 planes. That gives us 18 mana sources, which is a lot for a deck with a curve like this, but we actually have a reasonable amount of like pseudo card draw. I mean, like, or at least mana sinks. So Jite, Figure of Destiny, and Student of Warfare are all mana sinks. Thraben Inspector, Palace Jailer, and Recruiter of the Guard are card draw, and I guess even Loran. We also have Steel Seraph as a mana sink, and then we can get value out of these lands in other ways. Oh man, if we had Stoneforge Mystic, this would be the perfect deck. Alright, we'll submit like this. Mono white perfection. Cannot wait to see it in action. Let's play turn 1 4-drop every single game. See you in round 1. Alright, here we are for round 1 against Rakeback 1. We're on to play with an absolutely busted deck, but a bad hand. Yeah, we gotta ship this. Oh, wow, this is bad too. Library of Alexandria is so much worse on a mulligan. So then we have a couple options. Option 1 is mulligan and look for a hand that's explosive. Like, I know going to 5 is not great, but just like if we get Lotus, like our decks would Lotus mulligan really well. Just like a 3-card hand of Plains, Black Lotus, Gideon, Alive Zendikar can win a lot of matchups. So mulligan is a very reasonable option. Option 2 is keep and go on the library plan, which means we put a Plains on the bottom, play library down to 5 cards, then we just don't do anything on turn 1, draw to 6, and don't do anything. And then on turn 3 we can use library and get on the library plan. That seems too weak. Option 3 is keep this hand, just accept that we have no plays in the first 2 turns, and then go turn 3 Palace or Recruiter, turn 4 Palace Jailer. I think I'm going to do that. It's kind of close, and in some matchups, we just want to mulligan to a broken hand, which this definitely is not. But on the play, I think I'd rather keep a playable hand and just try and win a fair game rather than risk mulliganing into Oblivion to try and do something broken. It's close, though. If we're playing against like a combo deck, if we're playing against Reanimator, this hand probably won't cut it. We also have a bunch of live draws. If we find either of our 2 Moxen, or Black Lotus, or Ancient Tomb, so any of our 4 different accelerants, then this hand becomes very good. Also, if we draw any of our 1 or 2 mana plays, we can at least do something on turn 2. I think it's good enough to keep. Opponent has turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Strong start, but not that good against us. And nice, we find the 2-drop. You can say like, oh, you got lucky, you drew the perfect card, but the thing is, with this hand, there's so many different perfect cards. Someone commented on a video a while ago saying like, must be nice to always draw the perfect card or something, and A, yes, it's great to be lucky, and I do think I'm luckier than average, but B, the whole point of Magic is you have to get lucky most of the time. You just want to set it up so you have as many good draws as possible, and this hand is definitely one that has many. So they don't have any attacks. There's the Mox Sapphire, okay. So we'll play that. We're going to have to pay 1 to pay for the Sentinel tax, but that's fine. Alright, then I'm going to swing for 3. And I think I'm going to play Recruiter of the Guard here. It's kind of close. Running there. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's a strange play. Trading Usher of the Fallen for 4 life. Do they have... They path their own thing. Interesting. Okay. This is fine. Does make me a little bit worried about a 4-mana Planeswalker, though. Yeah, I was planning on playing the Recruiter, but given that, I'm actually going to play the Wingmare instead. That just makes it look like they're short on lands, and really had something they wanted to play next turn. Okay, they play a recruiter of their own. That's fine. We'll see what they get. Flicker Wisp. Okay, so they can flicker their recruiter. This is fine. We'll take 1 and then swing back for 5. The Raven Inspector is a pretty good draw. And if they block, I'll pay 4 life. Okay, they just take 5. Sure. Recruiter, and we're going to find Palace Jailer. Then we'll get the Raven Inspector into play and pass. So we're even in life, but we're ahead on board, ahead on mana. They have more cards in hand, but our hand is stacked. I'm not too worried about that because I think we'll be able to use our mana effectively every turn. Alright, they're just going to flicker their recruiter. That's pretty slow. They don't have any attacks. Do they have a recruiter of their own? Or a Palace Jailer of their own? This is an interesting situation. We could take a line that is devastating against everything other than Palace Jailer and just hard loses to Palace Jailer, which would be to play Palace Jailer, our Jailer, taking out their Flicker Wisp. Then we become the Monarch, and then they don't have any flyers, so it would be hard for them to hit us with anything. They just get the Raven Inspector. Okay, I think we do go for this line. So I'm going to start by attacking with everything except... Well, no, let's attack with... Actually, let's just attack with the Dante Vanguard. No, we'll attack with both of these. Yeah, that seems fine. If they take the trade with the Flicker Wisp, that's okay. If they just take 5, they're getting pretty low. Alright, they do accept this trade. Then we'll play Palace Jailer. Take out Esper Sentinel. Now we're the Monarch and we're way ahead on board. If they have a Palace Jailer of their own, that's a pretty good swing for them because they can take out our Palace Jailer, or they can become the Monarch, take out one of our creatures, and they would get back their Esper Sentinel. But then we'd still have Gideon. I think we're in a great position either way. Okay, they do that. That's good at becoming the Monarch, but we have Spectral Procession of our own. Let's attack with just Palace Jailer, I think. Actually, I'll send Recruiter. Actually, do we just send... No. Let's send Recruiter plus Palace Jailer. Alright, this is fine. Then we'll go land, Spectral Procession. So now we have 3 blockers to their 2 attackers. And we can pass, holding up mana, or just cracking the clue. There's the Lotus, okay. Seems pretty hard for them to win. I think they would need Parallax Wave. They just play Thraben Inspector, though, so it's looking like we're going to be able to take down this first game. Okay, they're trading down Spirits. That seems... I mean, given that we have Gideon in hand, I think this is good. But from their information set, I don't think this is a great attack. You need to have tension on the board so you can threaten to take the Monarchy back. Okay, let's go land. I think I'm just going to play the Lotus for the intimidation factor. We'll play Gideon, and I think I'm just going to ultimate the Gideon immediately. Threaten lethal. Alright, they concede. So we're playing the mirror match, but our deck is just a way better version, probably. We do want to make a few changes, though. One option is to bring in Dam. I don't think that's correct, though. Let's bring in Parallax Wave for sure. And then, we have the option of trying to go a little bit bigger. We could also bring in Oblivion Ring. So all of these 5 cards are reasonable options. Is there anything we don't want? I definitely want to keep the curve low. The Thalia and Vryn Wingmare might be kind of medium. They had mostly creatures that we saw. So one option would be to cut both of these two and bring an Oblivion Ring, which I kind of like. Yeah, I think that this seems pretty good. And then the other option is we could cut some of these sacrifice lands if we're worried about our life total. I'm not too worried about our life total, though. I think we'll just run it like this. Alright, interesting hand. I will keep. It's not the best Lotus hand, but we do have turn 1 Adeline, which is pretty good. It's better on the play, of course. Steel Seraph. So we have 5 mana. Couple options. It's probably best just to play the Adeline. We could wait and try and play a big Steel Seraph, but I think the best play is to go turn 1 Adeline, turn 2 Steel Seraph, give it lifelink, and then just that's a pretty quick clock. We'll play around Mana Tithe. And again, turn 1 Adeline isn't the best start, but it's pretty good. If they have a path, they do get to kind of exchange with the Lotus profitably, but that would just make it a 2 for 2. Like, I use Lotus and Adeline, they use Path. I use Lotus and Adeline, and they use Path, and we end up with a land out of the exchange. I would still prefer to be able to attack with it. And we're not going to play the Mocked because that would, they do have the Path, bummer. Playing the Mocked would let them potentially take it out with Leonin Relic Warder or something like that. So unfortunately, our turn 1 Lotus play is not as good as it could have been, but we get to play Steel Seraph here, which is not bad. It can target itself, right? Yes. Ooh. I think that's better. And I'm just going to do that main phase to play around Mana Tithe. So we'll get a token down and pass. Thraben Inspector, that's fine. Intrepid Adversary, also fine. So they're going kind of wide. Let's make another 2/2. Play the Seraph. Then we'll give our Samurai flying. Also just get the Thraben Inspector down. Target this Samurai. Give it flying. Alright, so we're ahead on board. We have a Planeswalker. We have removal in our hand. This looks pretty good. We need to choose our window to play the Parallax Wave, because these are all creatures that are pretty good against the wave. They have enter the battlefield effects. The opponent cracking a clue is good news for us. That's a sign of weakness. Okay, Library of Alexandria. We'll play that. We'll plus this on Samurai. Then we'll give our bigger Samurai flying. And the Seraph already has flying. So we could just hit for 8 if we... Yeah, there's definitely an argument for just going for the Parallax Wave and removing all their blockers, but I think I would rather just do it this way. And then do we play the Parallax Wave? I don't think so. I think I'm going to hold off. There's no time pressure to play this because we can use it to take out all their blockers the turn we play it. So let's main phase crack this clue, looking for some more action. Just a plains, okay. I think we're still in a good position. We can almost threaten lethal next turn. We can hit them for a lot. They ephemerate their wall. Okay, I'm just going to let this happen. It's 1 mana draw 2, which is strong. They could also flicker their Intrepid Adversary to buff their team. But I'm still fine with this. I just don't want to ramp them. Alright. So we're hitting for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can hit for 10. They have a Parallax Wave of their own. Okay, that is quite bad. Yeah, that's definitely bad. So they kill one samurai, kill another samurai. Do they take out a Thraben Inspector too? They do. So I think we're going to want to go for the path here to save our Wandering Emperor. But here you do see the power of Parallax Wave. We were massively ahead on board and threatening lethal, and now we're probably behind. Because we're not really ahead on board anymore, and they have 5 cards in hand. Well, whereas we don't really have any action. We are going to get to keep our Wandering Emperor, though. Another land. Rough. Okay, let's give this +1. Go to combat. We're going to give it lifelink. Or do we give it vigilance? I'll give it lifelink. Here for 4. Do they use the Parallax Wave on this? No, they don't. Alright, land. And I think I'm not going to use the Parallax Wave still. If they have an equipment on this Thraben Inspector, I'll slightly regret it, but I would prefer to save this, because if they know, like, say they have Spectral Procession, they're not going to play it into the Parallax Wave. I'd rather make sure we can get value out of this card. Okay, Elspeth is a little bit annoying. They can kill our Wandering Emperor. And then they'll probably use their last Parallax Wave counter to save their Elspeth. I'm not too afraid of this card in general, though. We can Parallax Wave to take out the tokens. Dante Vanguard, okay. Gideon Ally of Zendikar, not bad. So let's play land, go to combat. I think I will do Vigilance this turn. Or, no, no. Well, yeah, I don't think we need lifelink. We'll do Vigilance. It already has flying, so we're going to try to hit them to 4. I think I'd rather go at them than their Planeswalker here. Elspeth isn't very good on defense. Okay, they just take it. Okay, now do we play Gideon? They can kill the Gideon if we play it. By using Elspeth. I think I'm just going to play Parallax Wave. I wish we had 1 more mana. So the Steel Seraph is threatening lethal next turn. They also can't pay life for the Vanguard. Okay, they take out their own Wall of Omens. That's fine. Now they're going to lose their Parallax Wave here. I think I'm going to crack my clue now. Man, just another Plains. We're flooding pretty hard here, but I think we'll still be able to squeeze it out. There are definitely things they could have here that would beat us, but with us having the Parallax Wave, it removes a lot of their outs, like GT. They need to have basically hard removal for our things, and then even if they do remove them, we can save them with Parallax Wave. Alright, sweet. They concede. So we're able to win round 1 in the mirror match. I'll see you in round 2. Alright, here we are for round 2 against Roast and Toast. On the play again. Always good. I think we... Well, GT is one of our best cards. We're on the play with a playable hand. We can curve out somewhat. I think in a normal deck, this would definitely be a keep because of the power of GT. Also, Vrinwinger is really good. But we have such good nut draws. If we mulligan, find Lotus or something. But we also are playing 18 mana sources, so if we're low on resources, sometimes we could just not have enough gas. I'm going to keep it. I wouldn't fault someone for shipping this, but I think that GT is our best card in a decent portion of matchups, and Vrinlingmare / Thalia is our best card in a decent portion of the other matchups. And so in basically any matchup, we'll have at least one card that's very strong, and we can sack this for more action later. If we draw like 3 lands in a row, it'll be quite bad. But, okay, Mox, interesting. Let's just play the turn 2 Wingmare then. Days. Okay, that's pretty bad for us because, yeah, they're back a land, but we have no follow-up. We'll need to find some action. But we have a lot of 4-drops. We have a lot of good draws. We just find a Plains, though. That's kind of disastrous. Let's crack this and hope to find a 2-drop. Okay, Esper Sentinel. We'll play that. I think I'd rather play that before the GT. It's less mana efficient, but I'm not really worried about mana efficiency here. I'd rather get the threat into play. Okay, Young Pyromancer. Brutal. Well, this is not exactly going how we drew it up. We'll hit them with this. It's going to be a trade. We get 2 GT counters. And then we're sort of living off the top. Any creature that we draw is going to be a good threat. And we have an answer to some of their next creatures. But if we just draw a couple more lands, it could be bad. We're playing 18 mana sources. And we found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So only 10 left out of 29 cards. Giver of Runes, one of the worst threats we could have drawn, but a threat nonetheless. Any creature we draw is good when we have GT in play. They just pass, alright. Figure of Destiny, that's a good one. Good mana sink. Let's start by going to combat. Alright, I'm just going to hit here. We could remove counters to hit for extra damage, but they're at a high enough life total that I don't think that's necessary. And now we're in a weird situation where land is actually a pretty okay draw if this resolves. Looks like it's not going to resolve, though. Cryptic Command to counter bounce GT is kind of interesting. Alright, they do go for this line, so we're just going to gain 8 life. This is a 1-for-1 trade. It does kind of remove any progress that we've made with the GT counters. Alright, so we're still kind of just living off the top. I think we're probably under 50% to win this one, almost definitely, but we're still in it, and this should be a good matchup in general. Alright, that's a good card. I'm tempted to not attack with the Giver this turn. Yes, I'm going to play this to play around Mana Leak. Then we'll play this, and if it gets countered, we'll attack, and if it resolves, then we can, then I think we'll just pass and leave up Giver of Runes to protect it. Snapcaster Mage, Cryptic Command. That's good. So we'll see if they go counter draw. Yeah, they probably go counter draw here. Alright. And then do we do this trade? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But that was, I mean, yeah, Cryptic Command into Snapcaster Cryptic is very strong. I think we're quite behind here. Yeah, 5 cards to no cards. Narset, okay. Be pretty nice to see a Narset brick here. Sensei's Divining Top. Okay, don't care too much about that. We have a lot of live draws here. Mother of Runes, that's one of them. Then I'll pass. I'm not going to swing here. We could do that, but I think I'd rather be able to protect everything. Okay, they spin the top. Yep. This is one of those situations where it would be really nice to have a companion, but we're not playing Yorion. Alright, Narset again. We don't know any of their 4 cards. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, okay. So if they're just playing the Mizium Mortars. All right, we'll try to save this. We'll see if it works. Into Fable, okay. All right, looks like we got a free Mizium Mortars out of their hand. That's kind of sweet. Palace Jailer. Okay, baby, we're doing it now. Okay, so a lot of good plays here. Yeah, this is definitely the line. So let's go Palace Jailer, take out their Goblin Shaman. They have a counter. Oh, Remand. Okay, fair enough. Can't replay this turn, so let's go for the swing at Narset. If they double block, then it'll be a trade. We'll kill both. We'll sweep their board and lose our Giver. If they block with either individual creature, we can use our Mother of Runes to save it. Okay, they make a good block, so we'll do it like this. We can't save our thing, so let's just do this. We'll kill the Snapcaster Mage and then use the GTA counters to kill the Goblin Shaman. Then we'll put the GTA on the Mom and pass turn. So if they're playing a combo deck, we're still quite behind. But if they're planning to win via damage, like if they're just a tempo deck, we're in a pretty okay position. Our life total is very high. We have a good card in our hand. Mother of Runes blanks a lot of their removal. GTA blanks a lot of their creatures. They discard 2 bad cards, which is good. I mean, they got some value out of the Fable, but if they had kept their hand, that means their hand is good. And the fact that they had 2 bad cards means they're looking for something. Dragon's Rage Channeler. They do have 4 card types. Okay, they're going to draw their top card. Chandra. Honestly, that's not that bad here. I'd rather see a Chandra than a creature, because this is going to become a Monarch game. Alright, they can't really minus here. They could plus and hit the top card. They could also give mana. Alright. Mother of Runes will protect herself. Dismember. Fair enough. I still think we're in a good spot, though. I guess if we're not going to be able to draw cards off the Monarchy because of the Narset, which is a bit annoying. But still, we can play Palace Jailer, take out this, become the Monarch, and then we have a creature on board to threaten their Planeswalkers. Gideon, ally of Zendikar. I think I'm still going to get the Palace Jailer down. Playing Gideon into their Dragon's Rage Channeler, killing it doesn't seem that amazing. So we'll go Jailer. Take this out. Equip this here and pass. So again, we're going to get our trigger, but we can't draw because of the Narset. So that's the priority. We want to kill this Narset as soon as we can. They have 2 Planeswalkers on board. They hit a Lightning Bolt. That's quite unfortunate because they can kill our Jailer. I'm happy we didn't play Gideon. Gideon would have lined up pretty poorly against this. But this is scary now because if they become the Monarch, then the game is over. So we cannot let that happen. They have the Reflection of Kiki that we can't deal with. We need to find another creature. And we also need them not to have a flyer. Okay, they're pulling ahead here. Their deck is very, very strong. Lots of cheap removal, cheap interaction, Snapcaster Mage to recur it. Card advantage, Planeswalkers. They really have the complete package. Thraben Inspector is actually a phenomenal draw here. So let's play this first to play around Mana Leak. Make a dude. Get the Inspector into play. And then we'll put the GT on the Inspector. I'm putting it on the smaller creature because if they if they have a removal spell, they'll be sort of priced into killing the Inspector, and we get to keep the bigger creature. This is a key moment in the game. There's a good chance they just bury us. Like, even though we're at 28, they're not going to kill us this turn. But if they have like a Glorybringer or something plus reflection of Jiki, then that's just really, really good. They're spinning top again, though, which is kind of a sign of weakness. They can use Chandra to clear one card that they don't want. But if we get to untap with some creatures and a GT, I like our spot. They've drawn so many more cards than us, but we still have some stuff. We have a chance. The fact that they were able to kill both of our rune givers, I guess the giver and the mother of runes, is a bit unfortunate. That was a good plan. So now they'll plus Chandra to clear a card that they don't want. It looks like they don't have any action, which is great. They plus this, hit Murktide Regent. Okay. That's a problem. That's a big problem. They can make a copy of it with Reflection and become the Monarch and then get back their Dragon's Rage Channel. Yeah, that is probably game. We'll see if they copy, if they go at us or the Gideon. They should probably just go at us. Alright, they found the line, so they're going to get back Dragon's Rage Channeler. They don't have Delirium right now, but as long as they have this reflection of the Jiki, it's going to be very hard for us to win. We got to rip something good here. Land. Not good. Okay, I think we need to oh man, this is bad. This is quite bad. So let's plus this. We're gonna basically send one creature at each of their things, and they're gonna have to give up one. So let's go Gideon at Chandra, Inspector at Narset, this at their face. their face. This is their Chandra. And we'll see which one they choose to keep. They also might not... Oh, if they have another thing, we're dead, for sure. We need them to not have more action. They incinerate. They can also even get delirium here. Alright, I think I'll scoop this. Yeah, we'll concede. Alright, really, really strong deck from the opponent. This and then... Oh, man, we just had more lands coming up. Oh, my gosh. Alright, well, rough game 1, but that's okay. I think we can pull out games 2 and 3. I think we just run it back. Yeah, we'll submit. This is a tough matchup. They have a lot of burn that kills our things. We're going to need to have an explosive start. I think that hand is a mulligan in this matchup. Like, that hand would be amazing against something like mono green, but here where they can just kill our threats, we need to have a threat dense hand. We need to either be very explosive or very threat dense. We should also respect the days. Alright, on the play. Great hand. So now we need to decide if we want to play GTA on turn 2 or level this up. I think we get the GTA into play, especially since we're going to play Vryn Wingmare on turn 3. Take 1. If they dismember, I'm fine with them using it here. Alright, yep. Our 1-drop trades with their 1-drop, but we get to hit them for 4. That seems like a fine exchange. Do they pass with remand up? Probably. But we don't really have another choice, so we'll just go for our line. Miscalculation. Okay, that's fine. In some ways, that's actually kind of good. Like, this plays poorly with the Wandering Emperor. So this way we do get to have a nice play for next turn. They play Brawl, okay. If they Brawl into Remand, that's kind of brutal. I think I'm just going to pass. I guess passing is a lot worse against Cryptic Command. But it's so bad if they have Remand here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, oh no, this shuts down non-token, so it doesn't work against Fable, but it does work when this thing flips. So we'll let this happen. And then jam the Wandering Emperor. They do have the remand, so I'm glad we took the line that we did. But now the Wandering Emperor is kind of awkward, because if they have a kill spell, they can just get through. So I think what we're going to do is play Containment Priest and put GTA on it. No, let's get 2 threats down. This maximizes our chances of being able to connect and get some GTA counters next turn. Alright, they discard a random dude and a land. They're going to get to hit us with a Goblin Shaman, and I'm not going to block or anything, so they do get to make a treasure. I guess we could path, but that seems kind of weak. So this happens. Do they have something to do with all this mana? Dragon's Rage Chandler, they do have Delirium. Okay, they can kill the Mother of Runes, that's bad. Black Lotus, interesting. Okay, let's play the Lotus. Okay. We'll equip here. Go to combat and swing. If they have Cryptic Command, this is kind of awkward. I think we need to go for it. Just playing passively seems bad. Very high upside if they don't have Counter Magic. And if they do have Counter Magic, we have to burn our path. Is it exactly Cryptic Command? Man, yeah. I think this is the right line. Like, it's bad against exactly Cryptic, and there's a good chance they have Cryptic, but just playing passively doesn't seem like it's worth it. So they counter bounce. Alright, I'll let them trigger their Surveil. And then we're going to path the Dragon's Rage Channeler. So if they want to get the land, they're going to lose the card that they like and put on top. So this happens, we lose our GT, but okay, I guess they get the loot too. But now this is going to flip and get exiled, and then they only have one card, so we could beat the board. They're up on mana. I mean, yeah, we're behind here. We need to top deck a bit. Also, if they kill this Containment Priest, it's bad. All right, nice. So we get to exile their thing. Iteration is one of the worst cards for us that they could have had there. We'll see what they hit. But the problem is we don't have any top decks that are that good here. Like, what makes this deck good is its explosiveness. It's unfortunate that maybe we're supposed to ship that hand. No, our hand was good. That was not a mulligan. They hit us for 3. This is fine. We're going to put GT on this thing. Hit back. We can win creature combat, but the problem is they're just playing blue, so they have so much better card draw than us. Oh, no. Do they also have a kill spell? Okay. Yeah, this is looking quite bad. We just draw land. Oh, man. This deck is so good, but it's looking like our run of success will come to an end here. We're taking a lot of damage. I mean, we're not dead, but we need to top deck something pretty much immediately. Maybe Spectral Procession. Recruiter of the Guard would also be good, because we could play Recruiter, put GT on it, grab Palace Jailer, and then use GT. Oh, they found another thing that they want. Murktide Regent. Okay. I'll take a draw step, but I think that it is over. Rough. Their deck was so good. Okay. Take our draw. Thalia. That's not going to do it. So, despite our deck being just disgustingly good, we do fall 0-2 in round 2, unfortunately. But I will see you in the finals. Alright, back for round 3 against Louis Lute. We are on the play. And good hand. Funny hand. I think we just vomit a bunch of stuff into play on turn 1. And then basically that's all we do for the entire game, but hopefully that's enough. So we'll go land, Lotus, Adonto, Giver, Figure. And there we go. I mean, we sort of shot our shot here, but it's a good shot. We can have 5 damage on turn 2 with protection up. They don't have a 1-drop, which is good. Hopefully we can find a land. Not a land, but not a terrible card. I think I'm still just going to level up Figure, though. Actually, no. I think it's better to get Giver into play. Mana Tithe. Okay, sure. So we're dead to Toxic Deluge and good against most other stuff. They pass. We draw. Can we hit the land now? No, we can't. Alright. Swing. And I think this time I will level this up. Alright, pass. And then this is the key turn. Do they have the Deluge? Temporary lockdown would also probably end the game. But if they're just playing a blocker or a removal spell, we're okay. Steel Seraph. Okay, that's actually kind of bad because that can race. They can gain life and we can't really do anything about that. We'll draw. I don't think this is... Yeah, this is colorless. We draw land, but it's a terrible land. So we'll play that. Swing for 3. We'll get the Inspector into play and pass turn. Adeline. Okay, that's not too bad. But they're going to get to gain 3 life. Well, we'll see what they do here. If they give it Vigilance, that's not too scary. If they give it lifelink, they could just go to 9, which is fine. Okay, they do get lifelink. And they don't attack. Alright. Mox Jet. Alright, not bad. Do we want to attack with the Adonto? We could give it protection from white now. I don't think that's worth it, though. I think I'm just going to put Recruiter of the Guard into play. And get Lauren, which can kill the Steel Seraph. Interesting situation. I think we're ahead. I don't know what's in their hand, though. We've also both spent a lot of life because we have Pain Lands. So far, this has been just dealt us 5 damage for no benefit. Not great, but I think it's fine. Okay, they give Adeline flying, most likely. Oh, no, they do lifelink. Okay. They don't have... Oh, interesting. Okay. So we'll go to blocks and go here. And then triple block this. We'll pay 4 life. And then I think I'm just going to let this happen, actually. We could save the Figure of Destiny, but right now, since this is the first blocker, we're not even losing our Recruiter of the Guard, and that plays sort of poorly into a removal spell. If they have any removal spell, which Black-White is somewhat likely to have. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's just a trade. And then they have Sword, but we can kill the Steel Seraph and be in a really good position. I think it's still better to play the Loran than to play Hero of Bladehold. Alright, sweet. Close to mono white, black white. Do we want Oblivion Ring? I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did against mono white in round 1 of cutting these 2 cards that are a little bit clunky against decks with mostly creatures and bringing in Parallax Wave plus Oblivion Ring. And we'll submit like this. This hand seems too weak. Yeah, well, they mulligan, we will mulligan as well. This hand I'll keep. It's a little bit heavy on mana sources, but we have Palace Jailer, which is a great card. We also have a little bit of acceleration and 1 mana play. So we'll keep, put back Plains. I would love to find another piece of acceleration or another threat. Basically, anything other than basic Plains would be a good draw here. Rafine's Tower. Alright. Untap and draw Spectral Procession. Alright. That's actually kind of awkward. We can't play that on turn 2. And we already have a play that we want to do on turn 3. But it's just solid. It's okay. Actually, and it's quite good with Palace Jailer. 3 flyers are good at blocking and good at attacking. They have a Stoneforge Mystic. We'll see what they can get with that. Jite is what we don't want to see. Don't really care about Sword of Fire and Ice. They do have the Jite. That's a bummer. We draw a Mock Sapphire. Oh my gosh. Turn 2 Palace Jailer. That is disgusting. That's why this deck is good. And we'll hit for 1 and pass. I mean, this deck is broken. We did lose round 2 because we didn't have any draws like this, really. Maybe that means we should have mulliganed more aggressively. They also just had a really good deck. But we're looking pretty good now. 5 mana. What's this? A Palace Jailer of their own. That is bad. Do they take out our Palace Jailer or our Giver of Runes? They take out the Giver, okay. So they're going to get back Stoneforge Mystic. Now they're the Monarch. They also get to get another equipment, potentially. Batterskull, yeah, alright, we're behind. I wasn't expecting that because they only had 3 lands. The Mana Vault was a big swing. We draw basic land, that's not great. We'll attack, they'll block with their own Palace Jailer, probably. You got to block here. If they take it, we become the Monarch again, and we get back our Giver, and we get to draw a card, and you don't get to draw a card. Wow. Terrible play by the opponent. Now we'll play this, and I'm going to do it like this. Oh, wait, we could have used... Well, okay, it doesn't really matter. We have 1 mana available in case we draw Path. Containment Priest, alright. That's kind of funny. We could have actually played that if we had tapped right. I didn't... Oh, wait, no, we couldn't. This is not black or white, it's just white. So they can potentially play and equip the Jite this turn, but we're still going to be the Monarch. They could also put Batterskull into play, but that doesn't do much either. Alright, they play Jite. Do they just go for the equip? They could either equip or go for Batterskull. Looks like they're going for Batterskull. But that means we're going to get to untap with our Giver of Runes. Alright, good draw. I think we just get Loren and try and kill the Jite. And then I'm just going to... Okay, we could hit with some flyers. I'll hit with like 1 flyer, but I don't see the need to be particularly aggressive here. We're going to win the long game. I'll leave these back in case they have some flyer shenanigans. We probably could have hit with 1 more, but this plays around them having Elspeth plus removal spell or something. Now we draw a card off the Monarch. And we have Giver plus lots of blockers to deal with the Batterskull. Line's a pretty good draw. It's gonna. I mean, it already is a 7-4. And it's only going to get bigger from here. They have another equipment. Fair enough. Their deck is a good Stoneforge deck, but the problem is Giver of Runes just single-handedly shuts this down. So we'll go to blocks. We could block this with 6 things, or with 6 power. But I think I'm just going to let them have it and just keep our thing around. So we'll give this protection from black. They don't gain any life. Now, Adeline's actually kind of awkward because I don't want to make an attacker. That just means they can block with this and gain life if we attack. So what I'm going to do is swing with 2 of the flyers. Then post-combat, we'll play Adeline and pass. We have a huge board. A lot of draws to just win. Oh, that was the one. That was the number one thing that I was hoping to find, and we do. And then we have way more than lethal on our turn, so they need to do something drastic this turn or else we can just win. They do have a 5th mana, so they could play like Fractured Identity, but that's not that good against Giver of Runes. Lingering Souls. Okay. Flashback the souls, that's fine too. I think we have lethal here. I'm not going to let them draw a card with Loran because that would potentially give them Solitude. Alright, so we'll play land. Parallax Wave. Take out all their tokens. And they concede. Alright, sweet. So, did not get the trophy despite this being just an unbelievably good deck. Went 2-1. We kind of cruised in all the games other than match 2. I think this deck is disgustingly good. We had 4 pieces of acceleration between 2 Mox, Black Lotus, and Ancient Tomb. We had 4 different cards that basically win the game if you play them on turn 1. We had a very low curve with a bunch of 1-mana threats. Jite, which is great. Thalia plus Vryn Wingmare to pressure their mana. Spectral Procession was good to give us flyers, and then also a good sideboard. Too bad not to get the trophy. I do think, a deck that has tons of burn spells, a bit of counter magic, and then just card advantage is good. That's a good formula against this sort of deck. And we never had the truly explosive games. We never drew Black Lotus. We might have had one game with a Mox, but nothing super fast. And maybe that means we're supposed to mulligan more aggressively. Although I think in game 2 of match 2, we were on the play and we had 3 lands and a perfect curve, 1, 2, 3, 4. You probably are not supposed to ship that, even though we could, of course, mulligan and just find like Plains, Lotus, Gideon, and win. So tough loss in that one, but definitely a sweet league. This deck was really, really strong. I still want to reiterate that challenge to Teamjbro and anyone else. I bet 1927 is better than most of them, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.